S.T.A.L.K.E.R series has been keeping players on their toes ever since 2007. The game's atmosphere captivated so many players and it introduced a very specific view on horror survival genre. The game dealt with some major bugs and would appear noticeable, but the core gameplay and the environment in which the game was built on made all those issues seem not a big deal at all. The thrill that was offered by S.T.A.L.K.E.R was very much worth every single issue. Modders, on the other hand, took that as an opportunity and they grew by the number years to come. Then over some time the game began to evaporate, but the remarkable gameplay and the concept of its interaction left a forever mark on those who did get to experience it. The game gained popularity amongst a very specific group of players. Those who never tried S.T.A.L.K.E.R, they never really heard of it. And those who did play it, well, their gaming was changed once and for all. I'm a huge believer that the S.T.A.L.K.E.R series was the main reason why the roleplays was introduced to the gaming communities in general. Despite how horrific the world appeared to be around Chernobyl, there has always been the time where all the remaining S.T.A.L.K.E.R would gather up next to a campfire and tell stories about their personal experiences in PRIPYAT.
Люди, отзовитесь, кто-нибудь, ау! Тут его кто-то догоняет и хлоп сзади по рюкзаку. Но он оборачивается, а там стоит кровосос.
Some of S.T.A.L.K.E.R went as far as telling their real-life stories prior to the apocalypse. And that was a massive part of S.T.A.L.K.E.R series in general. Those campfire stories were reassuring players that at the end of the day, S.T.A.L.K.E.R were just people, survivors, who were trapped in this horrific world. They didn't choose that life. Instead, they were trapped in it. S.T.A.L.K.E.R Call of Pripyat was the latest game from the S.T.A.L.K.E.R series, which ended up releasing in 2009. And ever since then, the S.T.A.L.K.E.R series started to vanish. Not because the game did poorly or anything, but it was simply because GSI Game World decided to take that little break and let the game do its magic, so to speak. But that silence didn't last long, not at all. In fact, SERGEY Grigorievich, the CEO of GSI Game World, announced that the S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, which to this day is known as S.T.A.L.K.E.R Heart of Chernobyl. Throughout the long making of S.T.A.L.K.E.R Heart of Chernobyl, the studio did a phenomenal job of keeping its community informed of the making of the series. They didn't want their community to wait in silence, and instead they were hyping everyone out by releasing the texture packs as well as introducing more advanced looks on their upcoming character models. And that's when modders took notes and decided to work on texture mods themselves. In 2018, S.T.A.L.K.E.R Anomaly 1.5.1 was released and it took everyone by surprise. It was a mod that included reworked weather effects, texture packs meaning graphical improvements, reworked animations, new inventory management system, improved damage system, hundreds of bug fixes, as well as stability improvements. It was the next closest thing players could play and enjoy before S.T.A.L.K.E.R Heart of Chernobyl releases. In fact, the mod was so good it made the whole game feel like a completely different S.T.A.L.K.E.R game. And what's even more amazing about all of this is the fact that it was done by a single man. The mod took years in development, and the guy who was in charge of this mod did not charge anything at all. Unfortunately, due to the current circumstances in Ukraine, the S.T.A.L.K.E.R Heart of Chernobyl was delayed for 2023, which is 100% understandable, and its forever loyal community has remained praising the game ever since. The game is aimed to release around the holiday of 2023, and it is by far the most anticipated S.T.A.L.K.E.R game to ever exist. And before I wrap this up, to give you guys some perspective as to how popular the S.T.A.L.K.E.R series is, let me just leave you with this. We live in 2022, and to this day we have DayZ mods trying to mimic the S.T.A.L.K.E.R game. There is S.T.A.L.K.E.R in Discord, S.T.A.L.K.E.R roleplays, S.T.A.L.K.E.R mods, S.T.A.L.K.E.R servers, and I could just go on and on. If this video was enjoyable, hit a like button for me, dislike the video if you hated it, consider subscribing for future content like this, and as always, this was your boy Roos, and I'm out. Bye.